61 goals conceded isn't ideal, but a new manager, a new frontline without Harry Kane, 74 goals scored and 66 points, just two behind Aston Villa in the Champions League spot. I would call that more than a solid season for Ange Postecoglou. On the field as a neutral, I like the way his team plays, and he comes across as an honest coach who just wants his team to win football games by playing good, progressive football. They finished fifth after losing Kane. To me, it is outstanding for Ange. And look, last year they went on good runs, but they always suffered damaging defeats, especially towards the end of the season. That 4-0 to Newcastle, 2-0 to City and Chelsea, 4-2 to Liverpool. And I think that at some point they lost 3-2 to Arsenal as well after being 3-0 down very early in the game at home as well. The way they started the season, they went into the Chelsea game in the best possible form, and from there, I think that game just was the turning point for Ange. I mean, everything from that game became an uphill battle. They started the game on the front foot, but as the game progressed, everything went down the drain. Red cards to Destiny Udogie and Christian Romero, and Van de Ven doing his hamstring as well. His entire defence was just ripped to shreds in one game. But he still played that absurdly high line till the very end of the game. I mean, he takes the beating, and they did take one, but you take the L, but he stuck to his guns, and that's something that you have to respect a manager coming into a new country. Look, Ange's decision to bring in Van de Ven is that of a top coach. He identified Romero's partner as the most fast, athletic, left-sided centre-half this league has ever seen, and fair play. They found him. He is crucial to everything good they do. Even though Ange has got individually good defenders, they have some elite attributes as well. They're still susceptible as a team, especially in set pieces as well, and that comes from his forward-thinking mentality as a coach. They can put away teams that are below them, but when they come up against like better players and better structures, they do struggle, and they almost like to play 1v1 all over the pitch, and they take some heavy beatings. But this idea, the vision and the values are there to see. Now against Brighton in the second half, all the good work in that first half went in flames. And that can happen when a Premier League front three catches fire. Mitoma, Minte and Welbeck, they are a problematic front three. But this is the 10th time that Spurs have blown a 2-goal lead and lost. And that comes from culture. It's not just a manager problem. Now, this season, a massive change Ange has made has been in his midfield. Last season we saw the likes of Pape Matar Sarr and Yves Bissouma playing as a double pivot. This season he's gone with a more expansive, more forward-thinking midfield with Bentancur as the 6, Kulusevski as the right-sided centre midfielder and James Maddison on the left. Now that I feel has maximized every player's attribute, as Kulusevski's ball-carrying abilities is just sensational. I mean, he flat out balls. Also given Brennan Johnson more of a killer role as that out-to-in sort of right winger. Another one of Ange's recruits and currently playing at a very high level. Now if Spurs needed to make that jump this season, they needed to spend, and in all fairness, they did. But were those signings going to provide Spurs with that jump? Dominic Solanke, Archie Gray, Audubon. I mean, Solanke is a worthwhile punt as a proper number 9 since Richarlison is injured and hasn't produced the goods for Tottenham Hotspurs. He's solid and he started the season really well. Audubon was looking nifty, but his injury has pulled him up, which brings regular game time to Werner since Son is out. And with Werner, what you gain in pace, you lack in quality. But that decision firmly falls on Ange. Just like we gave him credit for the Van de Ven signing, he's got to own up to this one, and he will. Look, Spurs have scouted a very good coach. Yes, his deficiencies in set pieces, beating top teams, especially away, is a trend, and that trend has to be bucked. But 4 points off Chelsea and Villa, but also level with Brentford and Forest, I think it's time for perspective for Tottenham Hotspur.